urging HUD to approve their application to change these units to a project-based voucher program. And a copy of that letter is attached to HUD.
Councilmember Thomas.
Ms. Mueller, I read this trying to figure out if they're losing money hand over fist now, where's the increased revenue going to come from? And that wasn't immediately apparent to me that you know, the bleeding is going to stop just because you switch to vouchers. Is there an explanation I didn't get?
Good evening, Council. Todd Crabtree, Executive Director, CDC. Great question. It is kind of complicated to explain, but basically, in a nutshell, what it is looking nationally, HUD is looking at an aging public housing stock. And over the last 8 years, they've consistently underfunded their portion of public housing. But they are fully funding voucher programs because they don't have to play a landlord role in voucher programs. So where the extra money comes from is, in a nutshell, HUD. It's not going to come from extra rents collected from the residents. It will come from a program HUD is fully funding instead of a program HUD is not fully funding.
Councilmember Rudd.
Well, so where's the ownership of these units currently, and what will the ownership be after the change in the?
Currently, the units are owned by CDC with a lien by HUD. HUD paid for the development of the public housing. So what we're talking about doing is what's called a disposition, where the units would then be disposed to a nonprofit controlled by CDC called Building Better Neighborhoods. And then the units would have project-based vouchers, which would guarantee the affordability, but we'd also be moving to a program HUD is better funding. To give you, I guess, a comparison, the way public housing works is we get the rents, which are based on 30% of people's incomes, what's called operating subsidy, which is what HUD is supposed to do to make up the difference for rents, and then capital funds. All that combined for us works out to, on average, approximately $500 per month per unit. Compare that to a voucher program where a one-bedroom unit is approximately $775 a month, two-bedroom unit is about $900. So what we're really talking about doing is just moving to a resident. We've had six resident meetings, and one summed it up best. You're moving from a program HUD doesn't want to fund to one they are funding. And that's, in a nutshell, what we want to do. And we've already met with City of Fort Bragg, City of Willits, and the County of Mendocino, who've all so far approved our request for letters of support.
Further council questions or discussion?
I'll move the recommended action. As I believe the alternative is you continue to lose money, the units continue to deteriorate.
Right, and you know, with the change to moving to funds that a program that HUD is funding, we can actually do our deferred maintenance, and we even have a green plan that we'd like to implement, and we'd actually be able to do this. I've been working for CDC for 8 years, and for the first time in 8 years, I can actually say with some level of sincerity for a government employee that I believe that we can actually do improvements, and I'm excited about the opportunity to do that. So
do we have a second?
Second.
I will support the motion. However, I will need to see a revision of the letter. I am concerned a little bit about some of the syntax and diction in the letters. So I would like to, the motion, I'm not voting for this specific letter of support.
A letter to the mayor's approval.
And a letter to the mayor's approval. Is, further discussion? Councilmember Crane.
What would you like to change?
I would rather not discuss the
general terms.
Oh, nothing in terms of the substance. It's just I'm just being my own teacher self here, and I see let's say some coherence issues. So.
But you're not
Nothing in the
changing
substance.
the substance?
No.
All right.
If no further discussion, roll call.
Point of order,
Oh, I apologize.
public comment.
I apologize. Public comment. Thank you. The one slip up. Roll call.
Councilmember Thomas,
Aye.
Crane,
Aye.
McCowan,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Mayor Baldwin.
Yes.
Procedural question.
Yes.
When the new member is seated, does that mean I'll be called on second instead of first?
Yes.
Checking.
Is there any further let's go to city council reports. Did we finish the agenda?
We did.
For city council reports, let's call on Benj Thomas first.
Come back to me in case I think of something.
Council member Crane,
Nothing to report.
council member McCowan.
I would also recommend, or I would hope that there would be one member of the council willing to attend the Friends of the Palace meeting to help continue to push that process along. And also, I think we don't have listed the Sun House Guild, so hopefully one member would be willing to attend those meetings as well.
Councilmember Roden.
Yeah, I have two things. One is, I believe all of us received a letter from the city of Fort Bragg talking about having an all-city meeting in February. I think they're suggesting February 13th. And I support the idea. I think it's a good idea, and I'm really glad they brought it forward. And they suggested 4 agenda items, and so I guess the 2 things about this report. One is to talk about it, at some point in the near future, who would go to the meeting. And then secondly, if we have any other ideas for agenda items that we would like to have discussed. The second thing is, I forgot to bring my report on my meeting with the league board, which I decided I'm just going to email to you guys. But one thing I wanted to tell you is that I brought up the issue, the difficulty with, in this rural county, of doing projects that require paying prevailing wage, because it ends up making projects so much more expensive because those contractors often need to come up from out of town. And so, so I brought that up with one of the league staff, and they have a person on their staff at the league who deals with these, who's an expert in, I don't know, the issues that this would relate to. So do you have anything you want to say about this, or just laugh? Okay. Anyway, so they're going to talk about things that possibly we could do, maybe talk to our legislators. But anyway, I think it's an important issue for, economic development in this area, and I just wanted to say that hopefully we'll make some headway. I'll keep you posted.
And my report from the Inland Water and Power Commission is that it seems like many agencies